Hello everybody, my name is Dogwin, and I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a conclusion to the Fragrant Flower Blooms anime. I haven't watched the manga, I want to watch it. I made a video kind of doing a quick synopsis over the first 3 or 4 episodes of the show just to kind of get that caught up, and I just want to say that it gets you hooked after you watch the second one, and then I believe after like episode 4, getting into like episode 5, I was just thoroughly once again engrossed. And I kind of do that with a lot of animes or things that I get into. Once if it kind of hooks me, then usually I'm there to ride it till the end. My only exception would be like Tokyo Ghoul, which I didn't like watching that like at all, which I heard the manga is a little bit different, but that's like a totally different subcategory of show. And I really just finished it, kind of really just going through the motions of the last 2 episodes. I watched it on my computer, got a little busy, and I was like, I gotta finish this. So I ended up resorting to doing that. I was considering putting on my big TV and just figured, no, it's quicker for me to get on here on the little deck and just kind of go run with it. And man, I just gotta say, this is so good. And I just saw the manga is not cut up, or the anime is not cut up to the manga, so there's more there. And I am going to have to definitely get this and read this at some point. I'm currently juggling a bunch of different things. I kind of want to watch a few more other shows, and I wasn't expecting to kind of get into a romantic anime. I just kind of saw it on the list, and it was recently trending, you know, a little while ago. It's been out for a little while, and I was like, all right, I'll just give it a shot. Why not? And I see there's one called like Gakiakuda. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not, but I'm thinking maybe I'll go watch that next. I don't know anything about these. I just kind of was like, all right, why not? I'm looking for something a little shorter, new, 'cause I like shorter. I got a couple of shows I'm watching long, like One Piece. I mentioned that as well before on here, and I'm going through that, and that's a little bit longer. And after you binge 100 episodes, you think, man, maybe I should watch like a little 12-part series, 13-part series to feel like I'm accomplishing something. And yeah, I don't feel like I've accomplished everything I want to out of this. I love Rintaro and Karuko's relationship, and they did a good job of just kind of that encapsulating that teen romance. And I just love how patient everyone is. There's like no real abuse in this. You got characters who are abusive, like the delinquents and the rival, whoever those guys are. They're kind of jerks. But, you know, all the friends are just, it's very positive, and it's in a good way. And it's not, it is a little maybe cliche or cheesy, but it's handled so well. I'm stuttering for one. It's handled so well to where I don't really feel like it is cheesy. Like, it feels just so natural, so good. And you love to see it. You love to see it. And I really liked how in the finale, we got Karuko's perspective where she met Rintaro a year before, you know, and you just kind of get it all explained that way. The only thing that I did not like is I did see the little slip of, oh, from the hospital. And I decided, oh, I'll Google this and look up a couple names, whatever, because, you know, I want to make a video and I keep forgetting about their names. And someone did say, what's this about the hospital? And yeah, that's kind of what my thought is a little bit. Is this going to like unveil like, oh, she's sick? I hope it doesn't do that, because that's just annoying. But, you know, then I kind of like, all right, this is kind of cliche. And I don't know, maybe it does. That's why it's like I need to get into the manga, because I need to see a little bit more and see what they have. I don't know how far, you know, ahead we got. I don't know if we have like season 2 like worthy, but this first season just feels like a perfect little like storybook that you read to a kid. You know, it feels just so short and sweet, and it's perfect. There is a couple of spots where maybe you could rewrite a couple things or change a little, you know, a few things of how like, you know, it is portrayed through the story, but it's not bad at all. Like, I love it for what it is. And if you're looking for a little romantic, you know, coming of age, you know, feeling your feelings out and, you know, understanding your self identity and all that kind of stuff, like, this is a really good little show that kind of does it. And it's almost purely all, you know, positive. There's, like I said, the delinquents and a couple scenes where it's not, but this is just, it's so fabulous. I love Subaru's character arc as well. That is Karuko's friend. She kind of comes around, and I love how honest these characters are to themselves as well. Like, she is defensive and doesn't want Rintaro to, you know, ruin Karuko. So she goes and tells Rintaro when she sees him, like, hey, this is what's going on, and, you know, I'd like for you to stop. And she's honest to herself. I love how the authors didn't drop the ball and make Rintaro go, yes, I agree. And then he's seen as some, like, you know, cuck or whatever. Like, he said the right things and did the right thing, and I didn't expect him to do that. I was like, okay, now it's gonna get like stupid, but it didn't. It didn't do that, you know, because the way that these characters are written, like, you kind of have an idea of how they are, but then you see them overcome it, and like it's really good at kind of making you guess, like, oh, they're probably gonna be like this, and then they are like that, and then once again, like I said, they overcome it, and they're like, okay, well, shoot, this is awesome. I'm glad to see my man, you know, stepping up and doing the right thing. And it just continually happens over and over and over again. And it does kind of make me a little more curious about like the other characters like Shohei or Usami, I think is what they call him that. And then Saku, I don't really know how to pronounce his last name too well. And then Ayato. Just the other boys in the group, like I'd like to see more about their personal stories, maybe just a little bit more, because they're interesting, you know? We've seen them around for a little bit, and I want to know more. Just because the story just makes you want to know more. Because after we've seen, you know, Rintaro's background, we've seen Karuko's background, we've seen Subaru's background, you kind of get a little bit of, you know, the familial part of Rintaro. So it's like, okay, well, how is Karuko's family life? How is, you know, the other guys' life? You know, I kind of want to see Subaru get with one of the other guys as well. You kind of start shipping them. And I think if that, you know, kind of gets you doing that, then it's a decent show, you know? And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I think there's a reason why this is trending. I think it deserves it. I think it's doing something great. And the author she has something special here. And I'm glad that it got on here. And it seems to be getting the appropriate attention that I think it does deserve. And of course, there's other things that need more attention. And then, you know, they deserve it as well. But I'm really glad that I got to experience this. And I do not regret it at all. So if you're considering giving it a little watch through, be warned that it is kind of like a, you know, teen coming of age kind of lovey-dovey kind of thing. I'm pretty sure if, you know, you're going to watch it, you're probably expecting that. This is no action whatsoever. There's a couple of moments where it gets intense, but it's not, it's like twice that happened so far. And, you know, it's fine. You're going to kind of have just that high school anime feel. So yeah, I just want to hop on here and just say something. And yeah, I just guess until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.